This is it, the moment Shiba Inu holders have been waiting over 3 years for might finally be here. A respected analyst just released a technical chart analysis that's sending shockwaves across the entire crypto space. It's not speculation anymore, it's data-backed, chart-supported insight pointing toward a potential breakout. And what's even more exciting? The signs say Shiba Inu is getting ready to remove a zero. Yes, that's right. The long dream of Shiba Inu shifting into a higher price range is beginning to look more like a real possibility than ever before. And if you're thinking this is just another round of hype, think again, because this time, the numbers are stacking up. Disclaimer: as always, this isn't financial advice. But the data we're about to go over is too important to ignore. Over the past 24 hours, Shiba Inu's transaction volume exploded to a weekly high of 7.37 trillion tokens. That kind of activity doesn't just happen on a random Tuesday. Every time we've seen this kind of on-chain volume spike in the past, it's been followed by a major price movement, either up or down. But given everything else going on, it's looking like we're leaning very heavily in one direction: up. Right now, Shiba Inu is sitting on a key support level that's been acting as a price safety net for several weeks now. Every time the price has dipped into this zone, it's bounced right back up. What makes this level even more significant is that it aligns perfectly with a long-standing upward trend. 2 layers of support working in harmony, that's not just strong, it's powerful. But support zones don't just exist for safety. When combined with volume surges and heightened user activity, they create pressure. And when that pressure builds, something eventually has to give. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting. Behind the scenes, Shiba Inu's Layer 2 solution, Shibarium, is making a huge comeback. Daily transactions on the network have soared by 115%. That's not just a little bump, that's an explosion in user activity. More adoption, more projects, more activity. These are the exact kind of signals you want to see if you're trying to determine whether a project has real long-term momentum. And Shiba Inu has it. So what does all this mean? What does a volume spike, strong support, and Shibarium growth all add up to? It means the stage is being set for something big. But let's take it one step further. A TradingView analyst named Bitfinity just uncovered something that might blow the lid off everything. According to their analysis, Shiba Inu is closing in on the apex of a multi-year symmetrical triangle pattern. This chart pattern has been quietly forming ever since Shiba Inu hit its all-time high in late 2021. For nearly 3 years, the price has been tightening between gradually lower highs and steady support. Think of it like a spring being compressed. Every time Shiba Inu tried to rally, it got pushed down, but it never broke below that core support. And now, that spring is almost fully compressed. It's reaching its final point. That's where things snap. That's where the breakout begins. And just like that, the historical pattern starts lining up with the timeline. Remember the legendary 2021 bull run? The one that turned SHIB into a global phenomenon? That happened roughly 3 years ago. Now, 3 years later, this triangle is reaching its final stages. It doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like history lining up for another powerful repeat. Now let's talk numbers again. Shiba Inu is currently bouncing between the 412 to 413 range. There was a dip on May 6th, followed by a bounce on May 7th. Nothing huge, but now we know, that was the calm before the storm. Bitfinity's chart suggests the first breakout target is 405. That's the first ceiling SHIB needs to punch through. But the long-term goal? That's the big one, 301. A clean, zero-removed level. And reaching 301 from current levels would mean a gain of 733%. That's the kind of movement that makes headlines. That's the kind of shift that could turn thousands of investors into real Shiba Inu millionaires. But this isn't just about technicals. Something much more fundamental is happening underneath. New on-chain data shows that more and more Shiba Inu wallets are holding long-term. We're talking 1 year or longer. Meanwhile, short-term traders, the ones who cause price turbulence, are gradually exiting. This is a critical transformation. It means Shiba Inu is slowly moving into the hands of holders who believe in the long-term vision. Fewer flippers, more believers. And what happens when that shift occurs? Less panic selling, more stability, stronger support zones. And when the price starts moving, it holds those gains better. The floor gets higher, and it becomes easier to climb toward new resistance levels. We're also seeing a shift in market sentiment. Even during bearish stretches, Shiba Inu has held its ground. Charts from CoinGlass show that every time short sellers tried to drive the price down, they failed. That's a sign of strong hands in the market. Now, open interest is starting to rise, and traders are slowly turning bullish again. Funding rates are moving toward positive territory. All these are signs of renewed confidence, a shift that often comes right before a real push. But here's the part that's truly exciting. There's a growing belief that Shiba Inu could soon remove a zero. That means moving from 5 decimal places to 4. For many, this is more than just a number. It's a milestone, a psychological barrier, a moment of validation for the Shiba Inu army. And honestly, given the current chart setup, network strength, long-term holder growth, and historical patterns, it's starting to feel like a real possibility, not just a dream. Backing this up further is the historical performance of SHIB in the month of May. According to CryptoRank, Shiba Inu has averaged a 61% gain every May for the past 4 years. In May 2021, it skyrocketed over 350%. Even in quieter years like 2023, SHIB still posted double-digit returns. So here we are again. May has arrived, and everything is lining up. And yes, talk of becoming a Shiba Inu millionaire is back. Let's break it down. If SHIB hits 301, removing 10, you'd need 10 billion tokens to cross the $1 million threshold. That would cost around $127,000 at today's price. If SHIB ever hits 2.1, removing 2 zeros, you'd only need 1 billion tokens, which right now would cost just $12,000. It's not easy. It's not guaranteed. But the math is real. The possibilities are on the table. Of course, none of this is guaranteed. This is not financial advice. It's analysis, momentum tracking, and recognition of a pattern that's hard to ignore. Whether or not SHIB delivers on all this is something time will reveal. But one thing is undeniable. The market is watching. The volume is rising. The devs are working. The believers are holding. And the triangle is tightening. So what's your take? Is Shiba Inu about to break out and remove a zero for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let your voice be heard. And if you want to make sure you never miss another critical Shiba Inu update, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because missing out now could mean missing a life-changing moment. Share this video everywhere. Let's get this news out there and rally the community. The next chapter in the Shiba Inu story could be closer than we think.